What's going on, guys? Back with another video. And unfortunately, this time it's about Candace again, because it seems like she may be making some false claims. She can't prove that what she's saying is true. She says she can, but then she just refuses to do so. I, however, am going to say that I don't think what she's saying is true, and then I'm going to at least show you why I don't think it's true. But let's go ahead and see what she says, all right?
Why am I telling you this? Because after I made that offhand remark yesterday, I received a rather stunning tip, which I have been able to corroborate, that out of all of the FBI boroughs in the United States, regarding which there are 55 main boroughs and over 350 satellite boroughs, the FBI sent the specific Connecticut borough down to UVU after Charlie Kirk was assassinated.
The claim that she's making is that she got a tip that the FBI sent that Connecticut field office to UVU to investigate the Charlie Kirk assassination. Well, was that the only one that they sent, Candace? If they did send that Connecticut field office bureau, which I can't find any information on, maybe you guys can help me, especially you guys that believe everything Candace says. If you could just show me, you can follow me on X, or you don't even have to follow me on X. You can just find me on X and share the information with me that says that the Connecticut field office was on the ground in UVU helping investigate the Charlie Kirk assassination, because I can't find any. And in fact, what I'm going to show you is not only Kash Patel not saying that the Connecticut field office was involved, but that there were multiple other offices involved and none of them were Connecticut. Now, she says she gets a tip. Then she goes on to say that that tip provided proof. Not 100% proof, 1,000% proof. Does Candace show us that? Of course not. I feel like she could show us that proof without identifying her source. I can't imagine that would be that difficult. I'm wondering what that proof might be. Is it just this person saying that they did? Do they have like some type of documents showing which members of that field office were on the ground in UVU or are currently on the ground in UVU helping investigate? I would like to see the proof, because as far as I can tell, there is none.
To help investigate the assassination, okay, let's just look at the map again. They decided to go upwards on the East Coast and to send the field office from that borough to UVU. I'm wondering why they did that. I'd like an answer. We're probably not going to get it. We're not getting answers on anything. I wonder what moved them to send that particular borough, okay, down to UVU. It just feels like you got a lot around you, a lot of options. It wasn't exactly like necessary for you to do that. Charlie Kirk gets assassinated, and yeah, that person provided proof. They said we are 1,000%.
Is it just me, or does Candace have that meme voice?
Why are you talking like that?
Why are you talking like that?
Because this is my voice.
This is my voice. Pretty fucking annoying.
Okay, let's go to the Kash Patel press conference that he gave on September 12th, just 2 days after Charlie Kirk was shot and on the day of the apprehension of Tyler Robinson. Let's see what he says about which field offices were involved in the investigation and tracking down Tyler Robinson.
There is no better relationship for law enforcement than the FBI to partner with state and local authorities, and you've seen it here in these last few days. The FBI Salt Lake field office, along with our offices in LA, Phoenix, Denver, San Antonio, Las Vegas, Pittsburgh, Buffalo, our headquarters component in Quantico, all participate in the FBI. I want to express my deep gratitude to the employees of the FBI, the men and women, the evidence response team tacticians, the special operators, the agents, the support staff. You have done monumental work in historic time.
Now, you guys can feel free to go ahead and play that back if you want and listen to it over and over and over again. I heard him mention a lot of other bureau offices and thank them for their help, but I didn't hear Connecticut mentioned. So if Candace has proof of these claims that she's making, why doesn't she just show it? Candace could be right. It's possible that the Connecticut office is out there helping with the investigation. I can't find any information that says that. The only information I can find that says the Connecticut field office is involved in any way is Candace Owens. And as far as I can tell, Candace Owens is the only public figure that has that evidence or proof, but she's not showing it. So on one hand, she's attacking the authorities and the FBI for not providing evidence to this official story, which would be their claim. And in the same breath is making claims, but not providing evidence. Do you guys see the problem with that? I would think if Candace is attacking all of these people, she would want to be different from them, right? She would want to prove to you that you should trust her and not them because she's willing to do what they're not. And that's provide you with the evidence that she has. I'm sorry, but if you're going to attack one side for doing something you consider shady, and then in the same breath, do the exact same thing you're claiming they're doing, why the fuck should I believe you? Why should I trust you? If you're telling me not to trust them because they're doing this, then why would I trust you when I see you doing the same thing? Which is actually incorrect because the FBI and the authorities have given us more evidence of their claims than Candace has. And these witness lists that she's putting out, this is insane. She is going to end up getting some innocent person harassed, hurt, or even killed. That is irresponsible and dangerous as shit what she's doing. And I don't blame people that she's been putting images of and names of, deleting their social media accounts or placing them on private. That doesn't tell me that they're involved in some type of conspiracy. That tells me, this crazy has got all these crazy people coming on my social media now and harassing the shit out of me. I'm not dealing with that. Anyway, guys, there's so much more problems with this. I've been seeing a lot of people lately too talking about how that they didn't secure the crime scene. We just heard Kash. If you go back and watch this, Kash Patel lays it out. He lays out the timeline. It's roughly 16 minutes after Charlie Kirk is shot that the FBI and chiefs of police were able to get to that area and secure the crime scene. So there's a 16-minute window where there's nobody securing the crime scene. So people are walking around, touching things, potentially taking things. They can only get there as fast as they can get there. But once they got there, they absolutely secured the crime scene. You can see photos of it. And it wasn't just where Charlie Kirk was shot. They had that wooded area secured off. I think there was a few other areas that were secured off. And then people are going, oh my God, they're completely ripping up the crime scene and completely taking things away and changing it and doing all of this construction. I can only imagine that with the amount of resources that they put on that crime scene at UVU, that they were more than likely able to process that entire crime scene, maybe 2 days at most. And you guys can feel free to look up what's all entailed with processing a crime scene. But please just do some little bit of research before you just start throwing out all these claims on the internet or just repeating crap that you've heard without at least trying to verify it for yourself in some way, shape, or form. And everybody that wants all these answers right now, Kash Patel on September 12th, stated that they had over 11,000 leads to go through. I guarantee you that number went up since then. I can't imagine how much crap they have to fucking go through. I know this comes off as like I have this like complete faith in the government. I don't. I think it's pretty clear that most Americans don't trust the government. We don't trust the FBI. We don't trust the CIA. I'm no different than everybody else when it comes to that. I also don't trust liars. I can't prove or show that the government's lying in this case so far. I can demonstrate Candace being full of shit, which I have already once, and I'm pretty sure I was the first person to do that, just like while everybody else was completely jumping on board with Range Day Bros theory, I guess I was the only one putting out a video saying, what? This doesn't make any sense. And props to a lot of you in the comment section. You guys were right there. You know. Shout out to you guys that are actually going at this with some type of open mind and being objective and trying to find information that's legitimate. I just want to let you guys know that it does bring a little bit of faith for me back into humanity to see the amount of normal people in my comments that aren't completely jumping off the deep end on any of this shit. And I'm willing to bet most of you guys that for the most part are agreeing with me that you probably don't really trust the government either. I think that's something we all kind of have in common. But what I don't like is stupid shit for clicks like this. And I'm sorry, Candace. I mean, I'm sure she's never going to see this, but the more you do dumb shit like this, you deserve to be called out for it. And I don't think she cares. Maybe she does. Her tone seems to be kind of changing a little bit. I have a feeling that the conspiracy kooks are going to now try to plant doubt. And I called this a little over a week ago already, that everybody was screaming for an autopsy. They wanted to see the autopsy right away. And then as soon as that goofy ass report came out where they didn't do an autopsy, even though it's Utah law, and that we knew that there were reports that they had done the autopsy a week prior, they were running with that narrative that they didn't do an autopsy. At first, they want to see the autopsy, and then they run with there's no autopsy done. Guess what they're doing now? Now they're starting to plant the seed that there's all these new workers in town that day in the UVU area working at all these places. It's a new surgeon CEO. It's a new coroner. Now they're planting the seed to say that it's a big government cover up and that you're not going to be able to trust the autopsy when it comes out. So if that autopsy ends up showing and is used as evidence in court to prove that a single gunshot to the front of the neck is what killed Charlie Kirk, they've already got their foundation built to say, no, you can't trust that autopsy because fill in the blank. Because it's a new coroner. And I'm sure she's going to try to connect that to the ADL. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments. And is there anything that says the Connecticut field office is involved in any way? Can you find anything? Do you think Candace is going to show proof of any claim she's made at any point? Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. We'll catch you in the next one.